Hello everyone, welcome back. In this video, we'll be discussing about the last problem of today's biweekly contest, split message based on limit. So in my opinion, this problem is bit easier than the third problem of today's contest. If you haven't watched that, I would encourage you to check the problem and the video solution as well. It will help you understand how to break the problem into smaller problems and and from those smaller pieces solve the original problem as well. So if you haven't checked it out, do check it out. Moving on to this problem, the problem states that you are given a string message and a positive integer limit. You have to split the message into one or more parts based on the limit. Each part would contain a suffix a by b, where a is the part number and b is the total number of parts that you have splitted your message into. And each of the part should be equals to limit, like the length of each part should be equals to limit except the last one, which can be less than equals to limit. Okay, and finally the third constant is you have to split the message such that the number of parts is minimized. Okay, so let's take an example. Let's say this is your message, short message, and limit is 15, right? So you divided into two parts. The first one would contain short MESS and second one would contain AGE. And as mentioned, you have to suffix it with A by B, where A is the part number and B is the total number of parts. So total number of parts here is 2. So B is replaced with 2 in both the parts. And in the first part A is 1 and second part A is 2. Okay. And the third condition is that each of the parts should be equals to a limit. So if you calculate the number of digits here, it is 15. And if you calculate the number of digits here, it is also less than equals to 15. Okay, so this is the problem. So as discussed, there are three important things. Each part should have length limit. Each part should have a by b in the suffix, where a is the part number and b is the total number of parts that you have splitted your message into. And third, the total number of parts should be minimized. Okay, so let's see how to solve this. Now, let's say this is the message that you have, and the number of parts is 9. Okay, now think about it. You This is the constraint. Each part should have length limit. So if each part has length limit, you don't have much choices here, right? So you have to select something, right? And after something you will have a by b, right? Now if you think b would take some space, right? Let's say some character, and similarly a would take some character, right? Now you have to minimize the number of parts. So if you have to minimize the number of parts, you have to minimize the number of unwanted characters. So these are unwanted things, right? These are extra things that you are attaching. So this is taking up some space. So only thing that you have to focus on is how can you reduce the space or the number of characters taken by this unwanted suffix in each of the part, right? Now think of it in this manner. Now you have to reduce the number of characters that this suffix can take. So if you think b will take some character, right? And similarly a will take some characters. So in a sense, if you minimize b, a would automatically be minimized, right? Or in other words, a can be up to 1 to b, like a can be 1 2 3 4 up to all the way up to b, right? So if you minimize b, a can also be minimized. So now the problem is reduced to you have to minimize b as much as possible. And what is b? B is the total number of parts. So that is the third constraint as well. So if you are minimizing b, you are also minimizing the total number of parts. So all the constraints will be satisfied if you are minimizing b, right? Now what does minimizing b means? Minimizing b, you can think of it like number of parts is 1 2 3 4 5 6 all the way up to some greater number, 10 to the power 4, like number 10 to the power 4 is the maximum length of the string. So You can argue that b can be 1, 2, 3, all the way up to 10 to the power 4. That is true, but you have to reduce the space taken by b, right? And now if you think, what are the space taken by b? The number of characters that b can have is either 1, 2, 3, or at max 4, right? Why? B can be up to 1, from 1 to 9, right? So if B is between 1 to 9, you will have only one digit for B. Now, secondly, B can be from 10 to 9, 9, and in this case, B will have two characters, or B will contribute two characters. So in a sense, instead of trying out every possible b, that is one option for sure. You can try out every possible b and you will get an optimal answer. But trying out every possible b is not possible, because number of possible b is equals to the length of the original string, which is 10 to the power 4. So trying out every possible b is not an option here. That's where what we are saying is, that's okay, we can't try out every b, but in a sense we only want to minimize the length or the space taken by this string, right? So instead of minimizing b in terms of number, let's minimize b in terms of spaces. So what are the possible choices for spaces? Only four. Either b can take one space, that is between 1 to 9, b can take two space, or three space, 100 to 999, or four space, which is 1000 to four nines. So there are only four possible choices, right? So now, if you think, let's say you have to find out what is the optimal choice for one character. Now you can still argue that, okay, I just got that b will consume one length, but still b can be anything between 1 to 9, right? So how to determine that? The answer is, you don't have to determine what is the actual value, because there is only one possible value. That's it. Now this is a very strong argument. Let me try to prove it. So what we have said is, we are trying to minimize b in terms of characters. So let's say we take first one character for b. Now even we take one character for b, how we get what is the actual value between 1 to 9, because there are 9 possible values for this one character, right? So how to get exact value here? Because we need to finally put the value here, right? We don't leave this space empty. We have to actually put the value here. So what is the value which will be coming here? Now, what the argument is, there will be exactly one value of b. If a length 1 is satisfied, there will be exactly one value of b. Okay, and why is that? It is because the length of each part should be limit. Okay, now because the length of each part is limit, there can't be two different values of b which satisfies this one space. Now how to prove it is a different question. You can try to prove it by contradiction. We have tried this approach a lot of time. I will encourage you to prove this statement, that there, if you have chosen one space, there is only one possible value of 1 to 9 which can come here. None other possible values can come here. So try to prove it by contradiction. If you are not able to, I will put the proof in the comment section below. But I would encourage you to try it out. Now, now we are sure that we uh, have to try only four possible case. One possible case is one character B. Second possible case two character B. Third possible case three character B, and fourth possible case four character B. Now let's try out one by one. Let's say you are trying out the first case, which is one character b. Okay, so what is one character b? One character, we don't know the value of b, right? We have said that there will be only one possible b, but we still don't know what is that possible b. So what we can instead do is, we can just, let's say limit is 9 here, right? So we can, what we can say, let's say b is 1, so b will take one character, right? Now a would be 1 for the first part, right? So that we know. So what we know is this would be the suffix, right? This is one character. Which character it is, we will come to know afterwards. But this we will just book the space for this character. Now, after this, what is left? One, two, three, four, five. Five characters are done, and you have to put nine characters here. So you can only afford four characters. So what you can do, you can just simply apply this to this particular piece, right? Now, what is second second piece? Second piece would be two hyphen again something here and then a closing brace. So one, two, three, four, five. Again, five characters are gone. Only four are left. So just took the next four and put it here, right? So you can just simply go on, okay, and finally you will be you notice that you are incrementing parts every time, okay. So as soon as like you complete the entire journey, let's say you complete the entire journey with this particular approach, and after completing entire journey, let's say the last part is 11 hyphen something, right? Now if the last part is something like this, you can say that there is no possible value of b of one character b. Why? Because a itself goes to 11 and a should be less than equals to b, right? So if a is taking two characters, how can b take one character? So that's where your contradictory statement would arrive, that you have to determine whether uh, you can make a string or make number of parts with one character of b. But you can try out this, and if you see that okay, I am getting more than one character of a, so that's where I can say okay, one character is not possible, I will try out with two characters. So you, for two characters again, you will do the same thing, you will book two characters in that, in this case here, and then just again do the same process of applying strings here, and finally you will get something here like the last part. And if last part has equal number of digits as the number of digits that you have booked, then you can say okay, this is possible. And if it is if it has equal number of digits, and this last part, if you think about it, here a is equals to b, because this is the last part, right? So whatever value that comes here, you can replicate it to every other part, and that will be your final solution. Okay, so hope you get it. What we have done is, we, instead of trying out every possible b, we have tried out every possible length of b, and that is only four possible length, right? So because we want to find out the minimum possible b, we'll start with one length of b. Now, starting, if we start with one length of b, we will iterate over the entire string and just try applying or try dividing the string into different parts by just booking out one character here, because we know that only one character of b is possible. Now, after doing this entire exercise for the entire string, you will be coming up with some a, the value of a in the last part. And if the value of a in the last part is greater than the number of digits that we have considered, then we can say that with one digit of b, answer is not possible. So that's why we will try with two digits of b. And if again, let's say you are trying two digits of b and the last a is 1000, so, or maybe 100. So you will say, okay, two digit of b is also not possible. Let me try with three digits of b. And if that is okay, you will return that. Otherwise, you will try with four digit of b. Now, after four digit, you will not try anything and you will just return an empty list. Basically, nothing is possible. So it is also given in the problem that if uh, nothing is possible, then you have to return an empty array. Okay, so hope you got the solution. What we have done, we just booked the character of b and just apply the entire splitting algorithm, just simulating the entire problem, and just see what is the last value of a. If it is equals to the character limit of b, we are good, we found the answer. Otherwise, we will try with next possible length of b. So let's look at the code. The code is very simple. As discussed, we will try out with every possible digits of b. So one digit, two digit, three digit, four digit. That's the four possible combination. Now we will try splitting it into different parts. If we are not able to split it, and returning empty in case we are not able to split it. If we are not able to split it, we will continue with the next digit. Otherwise, we will return the answer because that is the smallest possible digit that B can have. And finally, if we have exhausted all the parts, we will return an empty string. Basically, we can't divide it at all. So how to split? Again, we will start with parts equals to 1 and we will book number of digits of B. So digits placeholder is something like this. Like we are putting, we know that we have to put this many digits for B. So instead of like what digit will come, we don't know yet, but we have to put this many digits. So we just replace everything here by dashes. So now what we are doing for, like this is the suffix. Suffix is opening, closing, and then parts we know, like the for the first part it is one, second part is two. So parts we know, then a slash, and then this placeholder, which we know that this many digits are this many digits will come. So we just put a placeholder for this many digits. Now this is the suffix. Now how many like we have to make sure that every string or every part should be of length limit. So we just find out how many limits is left, basically the same approach that we've just discussed. And if number of character that is left is less than equals to 0, it means we can't do anything. This suffix itself is greater than limit. So that is done. So we can't do anything here. So we just return an empty list that this is not possible. Otherwise, we will what we will do, we will just find out this many number of characters we can put. So we how many, like depending on how many we have already taken, we will take the remaining x number of characters based on this char's left. So that's what is doing, that's what this while loop is doing. It is just taking this many characters, and after we have taken this current part, we will push that into a result. Notice that we are not pushing the suffix here, we are just pushing the parts here. Okay, suffix is not complete yet. We considered the length of suffix, but we haven't put the suffix yet because suffix itself is not complete. We have a placeholder here. We have to replace this placeholder, right? So after we have divided this entire string, we have a result, right? And length of the result would determine the last value of a, right? Let's say there are like five number of parts, so the last value of a would be 5. Now, if like number of parts that we have is this much. So what is the length of the part? Length of the part is this much length of the part. If the length of the part is not equals to the length of the B, right? The length of the B, then we are saying that this particular configuration is not possible. And if it is equal, we know that this configuration is possible, and we have to return this suffix as well, right? If you remember, we haven't pushed the actual suffix here. So what we have done, we now we now know the value of b, exactly the value of b, because the last value of a would be the value of b, right? So we know the exact value of b, which is this result.size. So we just put this instead of our placeholder. If you remember, we are putting placeholders here, but now we will just put this value here. And once we find out the suffix, exact suffix, we will just append it to the string. Okay. So hope this entire solution makes sense. This, as said, like this, I personally I feel this is a easier problem because you just have to do simulation, uh, and like uh, just one observation that you can't try every possible b. You can just try out all possible length of b. Now why you are able to do this? Because for a single length only one possible b is only one possible value of b is there between 1 to 9. There can't be two possible value of b, and I haven't proved that statement yet. You I will encourage you to do that, and if you are not able to, do check out the pinned comment. I hope you enjoy the solution. If you have any doubts, please post them in the comment section below. I would be happy to answer. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed already, do subscribe to the channel. I am posting lead code solutions from past couple of months now consistently. So, and the major thing that I tried is how to approach a problem instead of just directly giving the solution. So if you like the content, do subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow. Thank you.